You say you want to scale your coaching business to 10K months, but let's be honest, it's not just about that, is it? I've built a coaching business that brings in 20 to 30K per month consistently, and I almost burned out doing it the wrong way. Today, I'm going to share with you the real reason to scale and actually how to build real freedom rather than just doing loads more work. The biggest myth out there is that if I earn more, everything's going to be easier. This could not be further from the truth. What most coaches don't realize is that more clients equals more stress unless you have proper systems, boundaries, and a clear vision. Of course, guys, money does solve some problems, and of course we all want money. You know, it is important. I'm not saying it's not at all, and we're going to come on to that later, but it's not going to fix burnout. It's not going to fix resentment, and it will not fix the fact that you've just built a business on exactly the thing that you want to escape from. You need to have absolutely everything nailed down if you want to be successful externally and internally. Completely transparently, guys, I remember when I hit my own first 10K month, and I was just thinking to myself, like, this is it, you know? But then when I started to hit around that 15K per month mark, I was replying to messages all day long. I was, ending up skipping workouts, feeling probably disconnected from the work that I actually used to love doing and my routine. And that is when I really realized that I'd built a business that actually has trapped me rather than creating that life of freedom that I wanted. I was taking so many calls, I had no freedom. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, what is the point in that? I was trying to remember why I started and just realized that I needed to stop chasing borrowed goals. I think a lot of people have got borrowed goals out there. At the end of the day, wanted a business that gave me freedom, control, and real fulfillment. That fulfillment part is really important as well. Don't forget that. And none of those things are going to happen by accident, guys. You need to design those. You need to design how you're going to get there. It's not just going to happen by accident. So here's what you want to focus on instead. Part 1 is freedom. This is really, really important. To get freedom, you need to build systems. This is absolutely essential. And what do I mean by building systems? You need to remove stuff, first of all. That's the first thing, is cutting the fluff out of things that don't need to be done, tasks that you or your team members don't need to be doing, or parts of your programs, even things that your clients are doing that they don't need to do. Cut the unnecessary stuff out, simplify it, and really just focus on the stuff that gets results for you and for your clients. And then the second part of building systems is automating. And you can automate stuff through apps, through software, or other things like that. That's the main thing, how you're going to automate stuff. Obviously, there's lots of things you can use now with AI. So there's definitely lots of things you can automate there. And then the third thing you can do is delegate with building systems. So this is hiring people. This is delegating tasks that you do that you don't no longer need to do. Anything that you can create an SOP for, a standard operating procedure, you can delegate to someone else. You don't need to be doing everything. If you can write down how you do it, then you can give that to someone else and pay someone else to do that for you. You shouldn't be the bottleneck of your business, right? So it's just about understanding where you are in your business journey. Obviously, you can't be delegating all this stuff at the start and hiring team members, but you can definitely do the removing and the automating part and then come on to delegating. Maybe you can start delegating some tasks when you hit 3K per month, for example. And then you can start taking on more team members as time goes on. But I personally only had one team member work with me up until like 12K per month. And then I ended up taking a coach on board. So that's definitely a really important part, is understanding how to build systems in place. And this doesn't mean no work. Like, people think freedom means no work. That's not what I'm saying at all. You just need to be aligned with what you're doing. Freedom is doing what you love every single day and being free because you love what you're doing and it doesn't feel like work. That's what real freedom is. Of course, we're going to be working, but you should be absolutely loving what you're doing and be aligned with every single task that you're doing. Part 2 is control. And this is an important part that I've definitely learned myself, that this comes down to setting boundaries. Obviously, yes, we love what we do, but we do need to set boundaries and have that downtime as well with clients as well, setting those boundaries, and people will be respectful of that. So your business, it needs to adapt to your life. You've got to remember that. That's why you've got into this. It needs to adapt to your life and make you happy, not the other way around. Loads of people, just as I said at the start, they build businesses based off of someone else's dream and what they love doing. It's important to make sure this is adapting to your life, because that's the main reason you got into this. Don't be building a business on tasks that someone else enjoys. You've got your own area of genius that you like doing within your business, and you've got to double down on that. Part 3 is fulfillment. This is essential. As I said, lots of people miss this out. You've got to stay connected to your why. What's your purpose? That's the real driver for you to get to your vision. You need to have that clear purpose. If your business is draining you, if task you're doing is draining you and you're feeling drained, your clients are going to feel it, People watching your content are going to feel it. You need to make sure that you're serving your clients and the people that are watching your content and actually solving the problems that you want to solve. Stop focusing on other stuff and trying to fulfill other people. You need to obviously focus on stuff that you enjoy doing and stay connected to your why. Otherwise, it's going to bring the whole business down. You need to be solving problems and attracting clients that you actually want to work with. And it's obviously okay for your business to evolve, like and change your ideal client avatar and adjust as time goes on. Like obviously I didn't always start off mentoring people. That's like evolved along the way. The type of client that we work with has slightly shifted along the time, with my coaching business, and our usual ICA has changed slightly. That's fine. You need to make sure your program still reflects your beliefs, and it's okay for you to evolve. That's part of personal branding and you evolving as a business owner and as an individual, but that's reflected within your business. Another part of this fulfillment is designing your life intentionally, right? Your days, like your day-to-day schedule, your routine across the week, that needs to be designed, around actually what you want your week to look like. Your offer needs to be designed how you want to deliver it. That's super important as well. Like what parts of your operations you want to be doing as well. You need to design that. Stop just building a business that someone else has built. You need to actually work out, right, how is it that I want to run this business, and design it around that. That's what's going to give you the energy and not steal your energy from you. Your energy is everything, guys. Like every single week, you need to sit down and assess, right, what gave me energy this week? This is part of my weekly reflection every week. What gave me energy and what took away my energy? And obviously, not everything you can just get rid of just like that, but you've got to realize scaling isn't just about working more. It's about building smarter systems in place. So if you can assess what's giving you energy and taking away energy from you, you can start to think and make strategic decisions based on that with regards to like what direction you want your business to go in. Like, as I said earlier, money is key. You should always have financial goals. Of course you should, but you need to realize that your wider goals are tied into the money goals. Like your purpose and your vision are tied into your money goals. The two aren't separate, right? If you're focusing on not waking up, with stress, if you're focusing on whatever your goals are, whether it's traveling when you want to some extent, obviously, having energy for your family, for your friends, like if you don't have any of those things, you're not going to get to where you want to be. Like not only are you going to be unfulfilled, but your business is going to go backwards because you are not aligned with your vision. The whole point of you building your business is to fulfill your vision. So if you are not aligned with that vision, your business is not going to scale. You've got to understand that. So, more money, to some extent is important, but you have to realize that you don't have to sacrifice one to get the other. Your money is going to come from that byproduct of being aligned with your vision. So just a bit of a recap and actual action steps that you can do right now. If you are just getting started with your business, or even if you're just early on, if you are below 10K per month, you need to ask yourself this question. What does my ideal life look like? And how can I build a business around that? I'm just going to say that again so it sinks in. What does my ideal life look like? And how can I build a business around that? Please don't, forget that. You need to sit down and make sure you're doing that each week. What's giving me energy? What's taking my energy? How can I, it's not how can I fit my life around my business? It's how can I fit my business around my life and my ideal life. Obviously, right now, you might not be able to delegate stuff, like I said, but you need to be working towards that. You need to be really have that vision nailed down and be working towards that as the end goal. Just a quick fire recap. Number one, don't chase revenue. You need to design your business around your energy, your time, and your purpose. Quick recap number two is you need to build systems, you need to set boundaries, and you need to reconnect to your why. And number three is start thinking like a business owner. Stop thinking just like a coach. That's not how you're going to scale and change your life. That's not how you're going to change your family's lives. That is not how you're going to have a big impact on the world and change all of your clients' lives. It starts with thinking like a big business owner. Stop just thinking of this, one-man band scenario. You need to be thinking about how am I going to scale this? And this all needs to be aligned. If you are serious about growing your coaching business to 10K per month, I've already laid out the full roadmap of how you need to do it to get there. I've put it in the video. It's going to be somewhere around here. So give that a click. If not, make sure you have subscribed for more content like this. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one.